Don't be shy, 'cause life won't bring you down too far.
Razamani for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. With me on Zoom today, ahead of his big clash on Saturday night, Shakan Peters. Shak, how are we doing?
I'm good, man. How about yourself? You good?
I'm good. I'm not too bad. Shak, I think it was must be at least 4 or 5 months since I spoke to you last. I came up to Coventry for the press conference for yourself and Chad's fight. I think the fight was in, but correct me if I'm wrong, March 28th. I think that was the original date. It's been a crazy, crazy time since. Firstly, how have you been keeping yourself focused?
Yeah, it's been, as you say, March 28th was the original date. For me, keep myself focused. I'm always focused anyway in general. I've got good people around me, family and friends. Obviously, on that time when the fight got pulled in March, it was just, there wasn't nothing much to do because gyms were closed as well. So it was kind of basically lost. I've done a bit of running and so on, but I hate, I know they say boxers should stay ready and this and that, but, training blindly is different to when you actually have a fight date. So I was able to obviously carry on training, do my running and so on, but I had to also hold myself back and not try and go too hard all the time. But it was good, man. It was a new experience for everyone, I'm sure. There's a bigger thing going on with the pandemic, so we just done other things to stay busy, like downloaded house party apps and all that, done little quiz nights and things like that. It was funny. Just done it with my family and friends. So yeah, it was all right, man. Took my mind off boxing a bit.
Was it, obviously you were a couple of weeks away from the fight, you were already in great shape. So was that a bit hard to take at the beginning to damn, we were so close?
Yeah, 100%, man, because fights were getting pulled before us. I think a matchroom show got pulled before. And it was just a case of we were so close. So I was thinking hopefully we could scrape through it, and we could just, so happen to just have the fight and then whatever will happen after there. But as I say, can't be too disappointed, can't be too selfish either because, at the end of the day, people in the boxing community lost their family members and, family and friends and people around us or people who may not have known have been affected. And I just had to take the positives out of it that, my family are fit and healthy right now and, we're all going and the world's getting better.
When you got the news from, I don't know whether it was your management team or Mick Hennessy about the date, what was your reaction?
Yeah, I was happy to finally know of an actual date. So, I could put my mind set on that date, train hard towards that date. And it was just good. Of course, obviously, when it first was announced, you're there then hoping that you're not going to hear something on the news again to say, there's been an increase in cases, which is going to affect your date. Even though now there is kind of been speculation of increases and so on. But I think it's a bit more controlled now. They've got better means of doing things. But when I heard the date, it was a good thing to hear. It's what I've obviously trained towards my whole career for this moment. And it's good this Saturday I get to show that.
Did the lockdown kind of give you more time to reflect and kind of improve your game and work harder and look at things that you could, do differently in this fight?
Yeah, it definitely gave me a lot of time to improve on myself, work on myself. Like one of the things I did kind of do, I did look back on, because they recently put it back up, like the Spellman fight, I watched that. And I've took so much out of that, what I know I could have done better, So it's like when I do see it now, I kind of watch it with a bit of a cringe, thinking, damn, I wish I'd done this. And, and so on. I could have, just done a lot more things better in that fight. But as I say, that was my first 10 round. I can't be too tough on myself, but I'm always going to be hard on myself as a competitive boxer, which I am. And I know I could have done a lot better. And I know what I could have done better now. So, of course, me and my coach have worked a lot on things in the gym. I've worked on a lot myself to know what I could do to work more in my favour and be better as a fighter as well. So it's given me a lot more time to reflect on my own game, of course, yeah.
I know we spoke back in March about your fight with Craig Richards. That obviously didn't happen. Craig pulled out. Yeah. But with this delay, was there any talks that that Craig was going to come back into the picture and you fight Craig rather than Chad?
I didn't hear from anything. To be honest, mate, I didn't even care. Like, I didn't mind who it was. I knew that my name was put, on there to fight for the British whenever the next date was available. So that's all I genuinely cared about. I never focused on if it was going to be Chad or if it was going to be Craig. I don't care. For me, as long as I knew that I'm fighting whenever the next available date comes for the British, which is what I was told, then that's all I cared about. But it's Chad, so that's what I'm focusing on now, and obviously that's what I've got on Saturday.
You're fighting for the prestigious Lonsdale British light heavyweight title. We kind of have seen a change in some fighters' mentality, where they normally go down the British route, European, Commonwealth, world level, etc. It's kind of the tradition that people follow. We see not a lot of fighters now trying to jump straight to Euro or straight jump into the world scene. Is your heart set on following that traditional pattern?
Yeah, of course. Like, you do want to follow those patterns, but as I say, I've always took my career one step at a time. So, I've not even thought about any of those patterns. All I've thought about is, it's me against Chad this Saturday. I got to win the belt before I even continue or believe to make any other plans from that. So for me, it's all about, getting this belt on Saturday. Of course, I've already won the English, so that's a major bout in English boxing. Some people win it, some people don't, but this obviously one is the prestigious one and the big one, which is the pinnacle of British boxing. So this is one a lot of boxers have always strive to win, and all good British boxers have won these and gone on to do better things, whether it's European or world level. So of course Saturday I can't look past that. I've got to win it before I think about anything else though.
Chad, obviously a tough competitor. We've seen him fight your call. We've seen him fight against Craig Richards as well. Is it Craig Richards?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Craig Richards. Yeah. In your call, and it was a great fight on very short notice. So we know he's game and he's tough. So I saw a bit of back and forth between both of yourselves yesterday. Does it spice it up a little bit?
Everything I say, I mean. Anything I ever say in boxing, I mean. I don't do anything to spice up anything or hype up a fight. It's just what it is. We're getting to that point now where I'm sure he's in fight mode. I'm in fight mode. He was just talking a lot of crap basically about his kickboxing background. I was just sick of it, to be fair. I was like, look, man, this is boxing game now, and he's talking about I'm 31, it's my last chance. It's a load of nonsense, you know what I mean? When he knows, man, I'm bringing it to him. People say he's game, but I'm gamer. I'm game. I'm very game, and I know what I'm doing boxing for. And when I've got that will and that mindset, knowing what I'm doing it for, and I know my why in boxing, which is obviously my young girl, I'm not gonna fail on that. You know what I mean? So my will and my heart and my mind set is a lot stronger than Chad's, and I believe that, and it will show on Saturday.
Do you feel like he could pose you any threat?
Do I feel like he poses any threat? I'm not discrediting him. He's obviously a good fighter. He's coming from a good fighting background. I'm not looking past Chad, you know what I mean? He's going to come, he's going to want it. He say it's a dream. Any man who dreams of this moment is going to give it their all, you know what I mean? So I do believe he's going to come and he's going to give it his all. And he's, obviously he's done what he's had to do to lead him to his point. So obviously he's doing something right. And as much as it's whatever, he talks a lot about kickboxing, this and that. He's achieved good things in that sport as well, you know what I mean? So I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's come from a fighting background, family, just like myself. I'm coming from a fighting background family. So, if his background, a family fight, which I believe it was, they did take it seriously in what they were doing. It's any much like how mine was, then I believe he's going to come, he's going to bring it, but I know what I can do, and I always believe in myself. So that's about it. You know what I mean? I don't focus on what Chad's going to bring. I know what I'm going to bring, and that's all it is.
Saw a picture of yourself, I think it was in the Olympic gym in Sheffield, showing off your six-pack as always, with Joshua Bratzy. How was that sparring for you?
Yeah, it's good, man. You know what? Joshua's a boxer. I've got a lot of time for. He's just a genuine, humble guy. You know what I mean? We get on quite well. We've shared many rounds. That in the first time we've shared many rounds, and he's a fighter. Although we're in the same division, I wish him well. I hope he gets all the success in boxing. He's just a great guy. But the sparring, it went well. It went good. I can't get any better preparation for the British. Than fighting someone who's obviously won the British himself, He's been an Olympic bronze medalist. You know what I mean? He's represented the country so many times, travelled abroad, and obviously he's doing you know, bits as a professional now himself. So, and he's obviously looking on to go to European level and so on. So I can't. I think my preparation has been really good as it always has been, and I don't think it gets any better than that for me.
It's inevitable if you continue with your success that potentially that could be a fight in the near future.
Obviously, everyone in our division could be a fight with anyone. You know, the thing is, that's what happens. A lot of people fight each other. Look, me and Deck are cool now. You fight people, and you know, you become cool. It's nothing really personal. Everything's business in boxing. You know, as long as everyone's in the same way, we can fight each other. But for now, you know, we both can work and learn off each other. You know, we can put everything aside. We could do that, and that's all it is.
Another great positive for you is that Terrestrial TV, Channel 5, we've seen Sky Sports showcase some fights in Fight Camp. Frank Warren has showcased some fights in some studios. We've seen some figures roughly on what they're averaging for the show. So are you happy that you're on free TV during this pandemic that we're still living in, where many people around the country are redundant, staying at home, and they have an opportunity for yourself to showcase your skills?
Yeah, 100%. We're going to get mad viewing numbers. I think viewing numbers will go really very high compared to what it originally was going to be as well. You know, people are excited. Not everyone, you know, can afford, obviously, the pay-per-views, the Skies. So everyone has got Channel 5, you know what I mean? So it's going to be a good platform for myself to fight on. You know, obviously recently signed with Mick Hennessy as well, who I believe in is a great promoter. You know, he's very experienced, he knows what he's doing, he's created countless champions, world champions, so he knows what he's doing. And for me to be a part of his stable and to be fighting on Terrestrial TV means so much to myself. You know, it's going to boost me as a fighter, my profile, and it's just, you know, it feels at home being a part of a good stable. And if with Hennessy now, obviously my team, I just think the only way is up for ourselves, as long as I continue to keep doing my job in the ring, which I will do.
Shakan, let me ask you, as a fighter, obviously we have many fighters in the UK who are aligned to different promoters and different networks. We saw Frank Warren last week come out and say, Eddie Hearn, let's make these fights, my fighters versus your fighters. Let's talk, let's get down. Times have changed now. Businesses have changed now. Finances have changed now. So do fighters now need to go into big fights to earn the capacity that they want to earn? And is it a good thing for boxing, and I'm sure it is, that where promoters can get together and make these fights for the sake of the fans?
Yeah, I mean, there's countless times promoters have got together, but promoters demand different needs. So sometimes you can see, like Frank and Eddie Hearn, they got together apparently and they spoke. But there's talking and there's putting pen to paper. So until pen to paper, nothing's really reflective, you know, of any truth. I think that's one positive, you know, one good what's come out of this pandemic and things. Like, it is going to kind of push a lot of, you know, British fighters to fight each other now because of travel restrictions, which are obviously in place now, you know. And obviously boxing, in order to keep the sport alive, we've got to keep having exciting fights. Fans are going to demand these fights as well. You know, you can't just get any Lithuanian journeyman or anything, you know. You've got these fights are going to get demanded. So as long as the boxers are game for it, and there's promoters who can obviously work deals, but that's the hard thing, is the crossover promotion. You know, deciding who's getting the viewing money for that, who's getting that percentage for that. I'm sure the business side's a lot more complicated, so it's something I don't really look into as much. But for them actually agreeing terms, until terms are agreed on pen to paper, then that's when everyone could kind of, you know, boxing fans, me as well, I'm a boxing fan as well as a fighter, and that's when a lot of people can then just, you know, relax and think, yeah, we're going to get these big fights. But it's all good. I mean, I guess it's a step that they're coming together and, you know, they're trying to work together and things, but it's going to take a lot more than just putting a poster out and then saying this fighter versus that fighter, what do you think? And yeah, we had a meeting. It's all about the pen to paper and announcements, and, you know, they go from there.
Shakan, is it going to be weird having no crowd there? Obviously, close to your hometown of Birmingham. I'm sure you'd have brought an army of fans. So is it going to be weird not having anybody in the studio?
Yeah, I would have had a lot of fans coming to this fight. You know, my first me headlining the show for the first time, big major show. And obviously for the British title, I had a lot of fans, you know, really planned to come. But I'm not sure, like, it ain't going to affect me. I don't believe it affect me at all, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a ring. As long as we got a ring, I'll get the job done. It just would have just felt good, obviously, with people there, you know, to create the atmosphere. But at the same time, it's what it is, and it, like, it's no different for Chad. It's no different for me or any other opponents who are going in there now. You just got to deal with it as a fighter. And these kind of trials and tribulations come around, and I think as humans, you just got to learn to deal with these things. It's only going to make you better in it. So I don't think it's anything of a major negative. It's just what it is, and you just got to go in there, get the job done, do your job. You can catch up with people after and things like that. But I've got the main people there who I need, which is obviously my coach, Paul Coonahan, my manager, John Pegg, Louis Coonahan, and that's my team, and so as long as my team's there, it's just like any fight, really. They're the ones you only can really hear. When you're in the corner, you know, you hear that odd distinctive voice in the crowd, but you know, you don't really hear everyone anyway, you know what I mean? Unless you land a punch, you hear everyone go, ooh, or whatever. You don't hear everyone, so you're only going to hear like a lot of your corner's voices anyway, so I just think I hear them a lot clearer this time anyway.
What about from the perspective of sometimes you get sparring partners who give you great work when it comes to sparring, but they don't, when they go in the ring, it's completely different for them under the lights, with a big crowd. So do you think for those kind of fighters, it's a kind of a different realm that they're into, or they're kind of used to that environment?
I couldn't answer for the people, you know. I don't know. I'm sure like it's going to be, you know, it's different, you know what I mean? When you're doing your ring walk, you know, you normally like to look around to the crowd, kind of play with them and so on. I think that's going to be a bit weird, but I just think, like I said, man, it's what it is. You just have to get on with it, and if you let these things bother you, you know what I mean, then it's mad, it's daunting. But don't be wrong, there's some boxers out there I know who said that they can't fight in lockdown because, you know, in any of these lockdown restrictions, because they only fight to, you know, for the crowd, and with the crowd's backing, like, you know, it influences them, it gets them up. So it's I'm not going to knock any fighters who can't do it. It's their profession. It's whatever. It's their career. You've got to manage your career accordingly. I'm one of those fighters. I believe it won't take any toll on me. So I'll just get on with it.
All right. Just finally, what are we going to see on Saturday night? How did this fight end?
I'm going to win for sure. And like I've always said, you know, I don't need to pick rounds or anything, but I'll win points or I'll get him out of there. I just think I'm just too big and too strong for the guy, you know what I mean? I think naturally he's a super middle. And like I said, you know, Craig's punches obviously affected him. A lot of punches, he's always getting caught. He's easy to hit. I don't see the guy troubling me. I'm not overlooking him, but I just don't see him troubling me. And believe me, I've bust my ass. I've trained hard for this fight, like any other fight. You know what I mean? I'd rather train hard to have an easier fight, but I just believe it's just going to be me getting a win, as I've been doing, and that's it. That's all it is. It's me getting a win. I'm prepared for 24 rounds. If it's 24 rounds, or how many rounds I want to do, I'm prepared for it. So I know I've trained, and, you know, be the best me on Saturday.
Shakan, wish you nothing but the best for Saturday night. We'll hopefully catch up with you a couple of days after, or the day after if we can. Stay well, stay safe for now. Appreciate you jumping on middle of the week and giving me a little bit of your time, and we'll certainly catch up with you soon.
Yeah, man, yourself as well, man. Have a blessed weekend and enjoy the show.
Thank you, Shakan. Shakan Peters for IFL TV. Thank you very much.